Hey YouTube, what's going on? Chris here. I want to bring you all an update today of Bitcoin. Right now we're at $8,722. We're up 0.02%. And since we're not really moving a lot today on the 1-day chart, what I want to do is step back and look at Bitcoin on the 1 week. And I want to just see how healthy we were and kind of walk through about 5 or 6 different points with y'all. So I just wanted to step back. We're going to take a minute here. We're going to look at Bitcoin from a longer term perspective. One of those basically a large investor, how a large investor would look at Bitcoin if they were looking to put their money in. Would they be wanting to put their money in now? Would they want to be waiting for a while? We're going to go through a few different things, but that's what you always want to do, is kind of get that mindset. If you're trying to accumulate Bitcoin, then you have to think like a whale who is an investor. If you're trying to trade on the 1 day or the 4 hour or the 1 hour, then what you're going to want to do is basically trade or learn from day traders or from swing traders, depending on which time frame you're working on. But right now we're just going to step back and look at this from a long-term accumulation standpoint. So that's what I wanted to get into here with you today, guys. If you like these videos, you get something out of it, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and let's get after this. So first of all, I wanted to point out we are fighting with our 20-week EMA, and that's going to be in purple. And in my opinion, I'm going to zoom in here for us. In my opinion, this is a key indicator due to the fact you can see right here when we had a candle close up above it, it was around $5,000. Remember, each candle here is going to be represented by 1 week. So we had a beautiful close here up above this 20 EMA, and that entire time while we had this move, we were up above it until we lost it on a very powerful bearish candle right here. See that? It's almost like a bearish belt hold line candle, very strong candle, and it happened on a lot of volume as well. So we broke down through that, and after that, what we did, we consolidated sideways for a while, and we actually had a nice bullish engulfing candle that pushed us to the upside here, and we closed back up above this 20. So you can see that fight between the bulls and the bears back and forth. Whenever you're in a bull market or an uptrend, you want to be up above this for the long term. When you're in a downtrend, you're going to be below it most of the time. So right now, the reason why I wanted to bring this to you today is look where we're at right now. So last week we closed in a doji candle, a lot of fight between the bulls and the bears. The week before that, it was a short day or a short week candle, and now what you're seeing is that we're actually below this 20 EMA a little bit. So that's why I'm saying watch the close for this week. It's still very early in the week. Watch this close and see what happens. If we end up closing up above this 20 week EMA, I think that could be a really good sign that we may have some type of a break to the upside and we can get moving here. Because what we look at this as is almost some type of like a bull flag on the 1 week chart. You can see this real long mass that we had. This was a really long candle, guys. From wick to wick, we're looking at $7,300 all the way up to $10,609. That's a really big deal there. So this would be our mast, and then you're kind of seeing how we're having 3 weeks of candles, 2.5, 3 weeks of candles here, where we're just slowly moving down, or we're consolidating, kind of moving sideways. The volume's dwindling, and then what we look for is that next push up of volume. If this is going to be some type of a bull flag for us, which would be really nice, because that could end up taking us as high as $14,000, $12,000 to $14,000, depending how much hype there is behind it. Excuse me, guys. That's one of the things you'll see Bitcoin. Sometimes, Bitcoin may have only hit $10,000, but there's a little extra euphoria, and each run's a little bit different. And it just depends on how many outside people jump in on it when you're really making that move to the upside. So that's something that I pay attention to. But right now, you're just seeing how we're cooling down right now. A lot of short day candles, a lot of indecision. We're just going to wait to see if we can close up above that 20, if we're going to close down below it. Now, if we close below it, what I would do is target around $7,855 is where I would look for some type of bounce first. If we don't get a bounce there, I'm going to look down to that 50-week moving average. That's going to be around $7,097. Like I said, to the upside, we'd take it at each spot. We'd go $10,445, then we'd take it around $11,500. Then we'd start messing around with some of these wicks here. I really like to play off the real bodies, but I also pay attention to the wicks just to see how overextended in each direction we get, and the weakness and the strength behind the wicks. So they can play a really important factor for us. But I wanted to put this on your radar in terms of the 20 EMA. Pay a lot of attention to that. That's just something that I've really learned throughout trading, that it can play a big factor for us in the long term. Then you're also going to want to stay up above this 50-week moving average as well. And we crossed up above that at around $5,700, and we have not crossed below it since. So that is a good thing that we're still up above that. We're making moves up above that. next what I wanted to talk to you about was basically this downtrend on the 1 week. And what we're trying to do here when we draw this trend line, we want as many touches as possible. We're going to be going off the wicks here, seeing how many touches we can get. So basically, guys, we have 1 here, 2, 3, 4, potentially even 5, and we'll adjust these down just a little bit more there. Always looking for the most touches. So about right in there. And what we would look for as an upside break is a break through this downtrend that we've been in. We've been in an intermediate term downtrend. So first they always start in the short term, then intermediate, then longer term, and that's why it's so important for us to get moving now. We want this bullish engulfing candle to be significant to where we can really get a move out of this and have one of these trend line breaks. You get a trend line break, you can run 40, 50, 60%. Things can get crazy. But right now it's just been acting as overhead resistance. You see we go up to it, we wick towards it, and then we're getting pushed back down. So that's the fight as well for that trend line. So pay attention to the trend line. Volume decreasing like we talked about. So in terms of a bull flag, that's what you want, that big mast, and then you have decreasing volume, then you would have that next push up. And remember, no chart pattern is even a chart pattern until it's confirmed. So you could be looking at something, a double bottom or a triple bottom or something like that, but if it's not confirmed, it's just the potential for a double bottom. It's just the potential for a bull flag. It's just a potential for a BART pattern. That's what you have to realize until there is confirmation. It's so very important for us to look at here. And then I wanted to look at our MACD. We're going to look at today our RSI and our Bollinger Bands. So first of all, let's start out with our Bollinger Bands. Hey guys, if you get some value from this, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and if you like really stepping back and taking a look at this from a long-term perspective from time to time, let me know as well, because we do a lot of trading in on the 1 day, the 4 hours, that type of stuff. So if you like us stepping back, let me know. All right, in terms of the Bollinger Bands, we are below the middle band right now. It's acting as overhead resistance. We're not really overbought. We're not really oversold, just kind of floating right now. I'm trying to make that decision. So trying to get up above that middle band of the Bollinger Band, that's going to be key for us. The next indicator I wanted to go over was our MACD. With our MACD, histogram is starting to tick up a little bit here. You can see we're gaining a little bit of strength, but we have not crossed to the bullish side yet. So that's something we're going to look out for. When we had our bearish cross right over here, it was around $10,365, and you can see from that area when we had that downward cross, we ended up going as low as $7,416. So that is something that's significant. Then we're going to go to our RSI. So just keep a lookout for that. Just start writing these things down, guys. Like what I have on my pad today for you, we're looking at Bitcoin on the weekly. Number 1 was fighting with the 20 EMA, so I want to talk with that about you. Number 2, the most underrated indicator, which in my opinion are moving averages. The more that I've studied about moving averages, I know they're a lagging indicator, but they're so significant for support, resistance, key areas, when to buy. Just like this, guys. Just to show you a quick example, you can see right down here where we had this bullish engulfing candle, came right off that 200-week moving average. That was the spot right there. Then we consolidated along it, and then we finally made that move. So people who say moving averages aren't significant, I would greatly disagree with you. I've been doing a lot of studying on them. I think they're very significant. Number 3, I was talking about 50-week moving average must hold, so we went over that. 4, volume decreasing. 5, show TA with moving average, so we talked about that a little bit. Then the MACD, RSI, and the Bollinger Bands, which we're going to the relative strength right now. But this is what I like to do every day, is sit down and write all these things out. The bullish case for Bitcoin, the bearish case for Bitcoin. That's what I find significant. The RSI right now is at 49. You can see we've been having lower highs coming in. So that's something to watch. And you could also draw a trend line. I'm really big on trend lines, even on the RSI, drawing them. So we'd put something along the line. You can see we had a little double top here, came down, tried again, and failed. So you could put your trend line even like right in there would give you 2 touches. Right along there would give you 3 touches. So we have 1 here, 2, and then 3. And you can see we had a break out of that. So that was our nice little move there. And now we started heading back down. And we're going to see if we move sideways or back test this trend line. There's a lot going on here for Bitcoin. And I think we really need to pay close attention to these things, because if we can put the odds on our side, then we can look and say, okay, if Bitcoin closes below the 20 EMA this week, then we may be in trouble. We may be heading lower down around that $7,000 range. But if we can close back up above it, maybe that's our shot to start getting up above, to $10,500, or have a nice trend line break out of here on some big volume after volume died out. That could really push us high, guys. If we could get one of those, man, just to give you an example here, so say we did go up 40 to 60%, and they even say in my book, The Encyclopedia Chart Patterns, some bull flags can run as much as 100%. So say we went from right here and we actually broke out, 40% is going to take you roughly to about $12,255. See that? And then guys, say we did something in the range of 60% or whatnot, that's going to take you up to around that $14,000 mark. So these are just areas that I'm watching, I want to pay attention to, and I just wanted you guys to start writing this stuff down and have this information. You know, pay attention to the 20, pay attention to the 50, step back and look on the weekly, look at trend lines, look at candle formations, look at the volume. That's the stuff I like to look at, and I want to try to bring it to you guys. I really hope people get something from this. If you do, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we'll try to bring you some more videos tomorrow. And also, guys, check out the video I did last night. We did XRP, EOS, and NEO. And NEO, we were talking about a potential bull flag last night, and it's actually breaking out today. It's up 10%. So that's something nice that's playing out right now. And EOS had some nice moving average crosses and different things going on. So, you know, just some key areas to watch to the upside, the downside. Check that out, guys. God bless and take care.